All right. So your challenge around October, Sag. You may feel that you have been ousted from a group dynamic, or maybe ousted from the family. And this may be due to a Queen of Cups energy, or you may feel that this is due to a Queen of Cups energy. So this is a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio woman. Maybe she has that sign rising, but she's coming up in the upright. So, I mean, another way this could work is that maybe this is a person that is helpful to you, while you're going through this difficulty. But coming up in the challenge position, I mean, this is somebody who's ordinarily a good person, but maybe they just spoke out of turn, or, you feel that this person has turned others against you in some way. So there may be some sort of disruption around a group, family, coworkers, if this is, somebody that you work with. You may feel like you're being gossiped about, talked about, or that you have, and you hold this person responsible for this disruption. And I mean, the challenge is kind of dealing with feeling like you have been banished or isolated. And it's going to be different for all of you. But because this Queen of Cups is in the upright, maybe consider if that conclusion is correct. Because for some of you, it may very well be that this person's fault. But there does seem to be something else going on here. Because when you have a group of people, yes, people can be influenced and that sort of thing. And if this Queen of Cups is a Scorpio, they can be very persuasive. Cancer and Pisces are normally not people who, kind of try to turn others against someone. Now, of course, there are exceptions, but those people will be coming up in the reverse with the Queen of Cups upright. That's interesting to me. It makes me think that this is... or maybe you're just in the wrong here, Sag. I'm sorry to tell you. Because, now if this was the Queen of Wands coming up and we had a Queen of Cups in reverse, that would be a different story. It will be different for all of you, though, how this is playing out. So, but I just feel like what's happened is that you have... you're finding yourself without anyone to kind of lean on, without any support in October. And there may be arguments and quarrels over this. So, I mean, if this is a work situation, this is a project that people are supposed to be helping you on, but maybe they are helping this Queen of Cups with something she's got going on. Maybe, it's not her fault necessarily, but she's got the lucky project everybody wants to work on. And everybody's kind of left you in the lurch. Maybe this is someone you're in competition with, Sagittarius, in some way. And you feel this person is stealing your people, stealing your group, stealing your clients, stealing your customers. When I don't think that was the intent for most of you. That was not her intent. There is also a big shift or change happening in October. But it may be one of an emotional nature, Sagittarius, where you're just feeling a little disappointed in something. We got the King of Cups reversed coming up. Now, this is normally a water sign energy. So this could be, again, Cancer, Scorpio, or a Pisces man. But in the reverse, he's somebody who's not very honest. So this may be somebody who's trying to... he may be connected to a trip you go on. Maybe somebody who is, he can be somebody who is not the most honest person. He's not very trustworthy. Very charismatic, though. But again, he can deceive. He's a deceiver. In some cases, maybe this is not a person at all. Maybe you've deceived yourself in some way, Sagittarius, that jumping into something was a good idea, or that a move was a good idea, or that a job change was a good idea. And in October, maybe things are not really turning out or going according to plan, and you're getting a little down about that. You're feeling less confident in a decision, less confident in a new relationship that you've jumped into. For some of you, this could be because that is another big shift or change. Maybe you feel like you rushed into something too quickly in October. feel like there will be a lot of conversations about emotional stuff. And maybe your emotions are just going to be really up and down in October, Sag. You may bounce, you may be up here one day and then way down here. If that's a regular occurrence for you, I mean, that is a sign of something that you can get help with. Maybe you need to get help with that, maintaining that a little bit more so it's not so, because maybe you make decisions when you're way up here, but then they don't, they seem good when you're feeling way up here, but then not so good when you're down here. So if it's affecting your decisions, your quality of life, definitely, you want to talk to someone about that, Sagittarius. Talk to a doctor about that and see maybe what could be causing this. What help can I get with this to help me not make these decisions that I later regret? Because this seems to be a pattern, maybe. If it's not you, maybe it is somebody around you. Maybe this King of Cups reversed is your husband or your boyfriend or somebody who just, maybe hides his motives from himself sometimes. But yeah, anything in October regarding a shift, a change, travel with Mercury retrograde, Sagittarius is going to be delayed. Make sure you read all the fine print on any contracts, any properties that you're looking at. Make sure you get it checked out really well, because there can be some big time issues that you were unaware of. And you find out in October, in which we also have 2 eclipses. Eclipses will eclipse things out of your life that you no longer need. Sometimes, though, we don't realize we no longer need it and we try to hang on to it. So yeah, something will be revealed maybe about a decision that you've made or that you feel like you rushed into maybe a little bit. And there's just some disappointment around that. You may be looking for a way out of it. Some of you may be looking for a way out of it. For some of you, this may be a relationship. Maybe it's a relationship that that it all happened rather quickly with you fire signs. I tend to get this a lot with your relationships. You tend to, you're like, whatever, I am all in. You jump right in and it's full steam ahead. And then suddenly, a few months later, you're like, what have I gotten myself into? Some of you may be, because again, with the Page of Cups, reversed, all these water cards reversed, except for the person you kind of blame for something. So Sagittarius, I do feel like, this can be another water sign. It would be a child, a younger person coming up in the reverse. Again, Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer person, or somebody with those energies, who is, maybe you feel they are interfering in your relationship. Or maybe it's you feeling just disappointed with the emotional connection that you thought was there. Maybe it's waning. Maybe you are not so enthusiastic about this relationship or partnership. This can also be a business partnership or job, because when we take a new job, that is also a partnership. Yeah, something that once was glittering like gold is now kind of starting to tarnish. Doesn't mean it can't be fixed. Doesn't mean, it's just, eclipses are going to take off the blinders in October, and anything that is not so great, you're going to see those tarnishes. You're going to see those splotches. You're going to start seeing the reality of something poking through. And, it may be easier to blame someone else than yourself if you kind of rushed into something. Just be very self-aware in October, Sagittarius, of where you're placing the blame. Nobody can hold a gun to your head and make you make a decision. That's up to you. Sure, people can express, well, I wouldn't do that, or, and that may not sit well with you, but nobody can make you do anything. Nobody, and nobody can make anyone else do anything either. People can persuade, people can try to talk people into things, but it doesn't mean they're going to be successful. And ultimately, if the person does that, again, we all have free will. You can't hold someone responsible for other people's actions. So the same applies to you. So just keep that in mind, Sagittarius. Because I just feel like there's a blindness here. There's something you're not seeing, something that's missing, and you may not see it until November. help that's going to be available to you is that I do think you are going to, with the Eight of Wands reversed, there's a separation or a severance that I think is necessary here, but it's ultimately going to resolve a conflict. The fact that you back away or kind of disengage, and this can be family drama, this can be issues with mom or mother figure, an older female. This can be negative messages with the Eight of Wands reversed on the internet or Facebook, or this can be some internet drama. But this is going to be a help to you in that you are going to get away from that drama. You're going to stop it. You're going to just be like, I'm putting an end to this. So there's going to be some kind of severance from this. Again, make sure you're blaming the right person, though, because I get that you're somehow maybe placing the blame on the wrong person for who's starting it, you know? Are you starting it? I mean, be honest in October, Sagittarius, with yourself and everyone else. But yeah, no, I see an end to arguments and an end to Facebook or internet drama. So maybe that's been going on for a while, but you're going to put an end to it. And that's going to, I think you need some distance so you can see your situation for what it really is. Maybe you're so focused on internet drama or what's going on with this Queen of Cups or this other stuff that you're not looking at your own situation in a realistic way, Sagittarius. And I think October is the start of maybe taking those blinders off. What has to be accepted about October is there's a lot of mystery around. And with the Ten of Swords reversed, this is kind of like you are maybe repeating a lesson, or there's a lesson that hasn't been learned yet. Maybe you're in the middle of a lesson. Maybe that's why you can't see things yet for what's really going on. Something feels off, though. There seems to be something hidden, some kind of mystery that, you know, in October that you can't seem to grasp, you can't seem to see clearly. And a lot of this may have to do with being stubborn and prideful with this rune reversed. It's the rune of need, it's the rune of necessity. But in the reverse, it's somebody who is so entrenched at their own viewpoint, they can't see anyone else. Doesn't have to be you, it could be somebody else. But I mean, you know, make sure that it isn't you. It's kind of the vibe I'm getting from October, Sagittarius. Do make sure that it isn't you who is, because it very well could be with all this stuff hidden from you. And just a feeling that, you know, something's off. Something doesn't feel right about this. I don't feel like myself, or I don't feel like, you may have a moment or two in October where you're like, something's wrong with this picture. And it holds the key to your escape from whatever this mental prison is, whatever this illusion. There's an illusion around. Again, with this rune, the rune of mystery, the rune of hidden things, secrets, illusions. Just be careful in October, Sagittarius, about who you're blaming for what. Take responsibility for your own stuff, and other people should as well. But yeah, I just feel like your vision is obscured in some way, and it's affecting other people in a negative way. So that's what I'm getting for October, Sagittarius. Some of you, this could also just be, you know, you're really excited about a Halloween party. You've got a great costume, and then you can't go, or something comes up and you can't, you know, you can't go. Or maybe you had a really good idea, but you can't bring it to fruition. That can be, you know, that's the very mundane kind of interpretation of these cards. Maybe you can't make it, you can't afford the costume that you really want, unfortunately. So you have to go to the party in a less than costume, or one that's not as great as the one you had pictured. Sagittarius, listen to your intuition in October, your feelings, your gut feelings. Those are right on. That something's wrong, something's being hidden, something's off in your world. And, But again, most of it's mental. It has to do with your viewpoint and stuff you're not seeing or refusing to see. Take the blinders off, especially as we move into November. And I think that's going to help kind of rectify this kind of moodiness. Maybe if you're feeling especially moody in October, it may be directly connected to your feeling something is off, but you can't put your finger on what it is. You know, maybe that's what the eclipses are going to reveal to you in October. Maybe where this is, where the adjustments need to be made. Maybe it will reveal what you need to see. And eclipses can, I mean, they don't always affect you within the month that they take place. It can sometimes be the month before or the month after. So, you know, if it doesn't come to light,